Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions, and all the Foxes banter you could ask for. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Just into race clear. He's got Jamie Vardy with him. Jamie Vardy sets off. Jamie Vardy! Ball back here for Tarwood. Oh, he scored! An absolute belter! That is trademark Abdul Fatahwood. This one into the box. Nugent over the top. Oh, what a goal! David Nugent's just scored a beauty. He's made Forest look like fools.
Premier League champions 2016. The amazing Leicester City.
Good morning and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses. It's Sunday morning, like every week. It's time for the Good Morning Foxes, and it is a Good Morning Foxes today because Leicester City have won a game. 3 points in the bag, 1 point off the playoffs. We're going to talk about it all, So make sure to get your comments in throughout the course of the stream. Make sure to hit the like button as well. Make sure to hit subscribe, and if you're watching this video back, which a lot of you do, then scroll down, and I always hand this to Steve. Steve, what can they do on YouTube when watching it back?
You can hype it. You can hype the video, and it gets out to more audiences that might not even be Leicester fans, but you need to understand that we are the best team in the world.
You'd think Steve is the younger one who runs his own channel, because I've not got a clue about hyping a video. So there you go. Do what Steve said. Hello to Wolf. Hope you're doing well. Kunal as well. Azola and Ryan. Back-to-back wins and back on track. Absolutely. Let's get into it. Steve, what's going on, mate? How's things with you this morning? Yeah,
not too bad. I'm at work this afternoon, so I'm going to enjoy this while I can, and then off I go in the rain.
Lovely stuff. I'm going to do fuck all. Actually, oh no, I've got to go to Costco today.
That's worse than me going to work.
Oh my God. Yeah. And the worst thing is walking through the bakery and not being able to have any of it because they do some lovely food. Kate, morning to you. How's things with you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Feeling pleased after yesterday. 2-0 up at half time. I mean, not felt that for a long time. So yeah, good day yesterday. Miserable weather, but Leicester made the sunshine for once.
Yes. Have you caught up on your sleep after Thursday night?
I'm not answering that.
Yeah, I needed to catch up on sleep, and I think I've overdone it. I went to sleep last night about 9:30, and I woke up 30 minutes ago. So I've overdone it.
Oh, you're going to feel hungover or jet lag now.
Yeah, well, I already do. I feel a little bit delirious. I'm ready for a scrap with Graham. Graham, what's going on, mate? How are you? What's going on?
Well, I don't expect any sympathy from you dirty stop-outs, but I'm suffering from that age-old thing called man flu.
A myth.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's a head cold, but there's nothing better than being in a hot, sweaty place when you've got a cold. But no sympathy expected. I thought you nearly fainted there for a second, Kate. Right. But yeah, happy. Football's made me happy. Cricket hasn't, but football's got to be back on the track.
Lovely stuff. Azola, that was a beautiful goal by Mavididi. Absolutely. Okay, right. So, Steve, let's get into it, mate. Obviously, you were at the game yesterday. Now, you did wear your Rodkin shirt, which I think is a positive... what's the word? Like an omen? No, what do you call it? Like a superstition? Did we win the last game you wore it as well?
No, so I only wear it at home games because I don't wear colours away because I'd rather just blend in. And I'm yet to see a defeat whilst wearing the shirt. So at the moment, it's like, pride of place, out of the way. It's been washed, but yeah, we'll wear it every home game, and hopefully we carry on winning games.
I like how you had to just like make people know that you do wash it.
You got to make sure.
What did you make to the? Actually, before we talk about the football, let's start on this because obviously you and Kate were both at the game. So, Steve, what was the atmosphere like yesterday, mate? Was there? Because obviously it was the first game since the news that there was going to be a bit of a revamp at the club. Obviously the Top's interview. So some people, and I genuinely don't know the answer to this question because I haven't asked anyone. Some people thought maybe there would be no Rodkin chance, and stuff like that. So tell us, mate, how was it on that front yesterday?
So I didn't hear any negative chants for a change. There was no boos apart from at the referee, and there was no Rodkin chants that I heard. The atmosphere itself was a bit subdued. I don't know if that was because of the rain or because they scored so early in the second half, but I thought going 2 goals up, everyone would be bouncing and it would be quite loud. But actually, other than SK1, where there's a bit in the corner, I didn't really hear a lot at all. So I was a little bit disappointed. I tried to get some going in where I sit in SK4, but just nobody joined in. So, it's the same every week, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
that could say more about you, Steve, than the chanting, though.
Usually they join in, Graham. They join in usually, all right?
You don't stand there back in the old days at the cot with your shirt off, back towards the crowd, getting them warmed up?
Well, don't worry, because I'm getting to the point where I can have my shirt off and feel okay about it. So, giving sort of August next year, I'll be off and I'll be waving it around my head around all the old people.
Oh, God.
Go on, Kate.
Yeah, I think at 1-0 up, I heard Rodkin chants next to me, which is by the away end. So I did hear some. And then I was singing my Mavididi song on my own. How did we not sing Mavididi's song when he scored? So I just sang it by myself. So yeah, the crowd were a bit flat. It was miserable weather yesterday, and it was a bit of a poor turnout as well. There was lots of empty seats yesterday, which was disappointing. Again, I think that I went into town beforehand and everybody was in town shopping. So I don't know whether that had something to do with it as well, like sack the football off and go and do some shopping. I don't know. But yeah, it was a bit of a poor turnout and the atmosphere was a bit flat. But I think that just reflects where we are at the moment. And I think it was more of a relief that we got it over the line yesterday rather than that joyous winning feeling. It was just more, okay, it was a great win because Stoke are doing really well. And I think the atmosphere just reflected that a little bit.
Graham, obviously, you're in Abu Dhabi, so you weren't at the game. But what do you make to hearing that the atmosphere was flat? And because I know you always talk about back the lads through thick and thin and all that, right? But you're 12th in the championship, horrible day, end of November. Some poor performances recently. Do you understand why maybe some people thought, well, you know what, I'm going to go Christmas shopping instead of going to the game?
I think that there's a lot of people's other halves, male or female, for the sake of continuity, decided that they probably would go shopping because they were being led by the ear because it's the last proper, 3 more shopping weekends to Christmas. Yeah, no, yes, I can get why everybody's like that. I watched the game, obviously, from a long way away, but I almost felt like I got my old Leicester back. It reminded me of, especially the second goal of Vardy, playing against a well-organised team that were passing the ball round the back, Enzo style. And the atmosphere is flat, but I can't understand that once we would, I know everybody would be tense in the. What was the atmosphere when we scored? When the final whistle was blown, guys.
It was good. The last 5 minutes, it was quite loud. There was a lot of chanting, positive chanting. There was some boos at the ref because he had an extra couple of minutes. But overall,
he booked every player that fouled.
Yeah, we got 6 bookings,
and then they only got a booking
2
right at the end.
Yeah, they got 2. We got 6. This is not the first game. Sorry, Kate. This is not the first game this season where referees have been seem to be a lot harder on us. Yeah, is that because of who or what we are?
You don't get.
Well, there was that moment where Abdul got taken out after the ball went out of play.
Yeah,
and we were all screwed because that was clearly a red card because it was dangerous play and it was late. And yet the ref gave him a yellow card. I don't understand it. It's one of those things where you think if that was anywhere else on the pitch, that would have been a red card. So I don't know. The ref was awful all game.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really poor refereeing decision, and two players that we like to go after a little bit, Oliver Skipp and Luke Thomas. Starting with Skipp, that one was I couldn't believe he gave the yellow. Like, I understand it if very very being harsh, I can understand it. He kind of grabbed the player's shirt, but I don't think the player was really going anywhere. I think he had loads of men around him. I think that was a poor decision. And then the Thomas one, Steve, did you see the Thomas one?
Yeah, I was screaming.
I didn't see it, like, I haven't watched it back, but am I right in saying he kicked the ball off the pitch, but that's where the player was anyway? He was off the pitch.
Yes and no. So he went out for a throw in down near our corner flag, and Thomas picked up the ball and walked backwards with it. He had it for about sort of 6 or 7 seconds, and then their player, who was next to the corner flag, walked back onto the pitch because somebody else was taking the throw, and so he ran to get the ball that was next to him. So Thomas kicked the ball to him and got a yellow card for it. But you could see why he was given a yellow, because he was holding on to the ball for too long. And then rather than giving it to the person in front of him, he kicked it to the other person, which could seem more of a time waste. So it's a proper bozo yellow card to get, because now he's out of the game on Tuesday. And it's like peak Luke Thomas at this point, to get suspended for that.
Well, I don't know about UK. Let's say it was, because I think Thomas's reaction as a player would, right? He had a reaction like, "Oh no, I didn't mean it," blah blah, right? Because you sell it to the ref. But if he did mean it, I'm kind of like, it's dark arts a little bit. You're protecting a lead, and I don't mind it, because I think the dark arts, and we'll talk about some of the challenges and some of the fight I think we did see from the team yesterday as well. But starting with this, I like to see that, because I think it's something that we've lacked forever. Since probably running it, since 2016, right? We just don't have that about us normally, which then, doesn't help us with protecting leads usually.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember, including Kasper, the last keeper that time wasted like Begovic time wasted.
Yeah.
He eventually got booked for it.
Yeah.
But we don't ever have keepers that do that, and I'm all for it. You could tell he played for Chelsea. So yeah, I mean, Luke Thomas yesterday it was silly for me, because he kicked the ball about 9 yards away from him onto the pitch, and it was just. And I don't mind referees sticking to the letter of the law if they're consistent. If they're shit, be consistently shit across both teams. But yesterday felt like. And I felt like it, like Graham said, in quite a few games, particularly at the King Power this season, that whenever we foul, it's an automatic yellow. And yesterday I did feel like a red was coming, because the ref had set it up for it. Like, he's given himself a decision to make because of the threshold being so low that he was booking people for. So, yeah, it was quite frustrating yesterday. But I like the dark arts as well. I don't think we do it enough. Vardy was obviously king of it a bit, really, in terms of getting at people and sly digs at people throughout the game. But Thomas yesterday, I mean, you could understand the letter of the law, but for the rest of the match, the referee didn't follow the letter of the law. So, and it wasn't like it was away. He didn't hoof it into the stands, or it was still on the pitch. It was just frustrating all round, really.
I mean, Graham, I don't know about you, mate, but, regardless of, we'll talk about the manager a bit later on, but regardless of the style of playing and the performance and stuff like that, for so long, man, like, I've wanted a manager just to start to actually bring that into the team, like a bit of the dark art. I love it. I absolutely love it. And yes, I suppose with Thomas, look, some people will say this, right, which I kind of agree with a little bit, no offence, but Thomas did us a favour getting suspended, right? We've not got Thomas for Southampton. But that aside, yes, it's a bit silly when you're one yellow away from a suspension, right? That's a little bit of a silly thing to do. However, I like to see it, mate, because you're protecting a lead. Of course, we'd all want to score another, right? But when you can't score another, the next best thing is to do what Thomas did, or do what Begovic did, and time waste a little bit.
Absolutely. Game management. We've as Kate alluded to, we've not had anybody do it. We've given away stupid goals because people have tried to head the ball in the penalty area or has been caught on the line. I mean, honestly, my man Rudkin, what a signing, Begovic, eh? How much did he cost us? Nothing.
He was sensational yesterday, man.
I felt like
his palm is better at defending corners than all of our defenders.
He's also really good at tapping people on top of the head as well. That was great when that happened.
Yeah. No, I think that I wouldn't. I think the other keeper, as good as he is not going to get in the team with the guy playing like he is at this moment in time, and also the fact that he did control his box, comes out for the ball, 2 sensational saves. I hate to say it, but a proper goalkeeper. I know it's a bit old school. He hasn't got a cloth cap, but he's. I thought he had a great game yesterday. And if he then can spread that message around the team, that look after the ball, look after the points. And if you want to raise a crowd, there's 2 ways of raising a crowd: wing a streaky run, and then a Vardy-esque challenge on the halfway line that puts some poor sod into Rosed. Either of those ways are, a good way of making the crowd go.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. I mean, Steve, Begovic, obviously, when he came in, I think he did get a little bit of criticism, but I think that was just more as in when we signed it. But I think that was just more like, oh, okay, we just signed a free goalkeeper. So maybe the criticism, I criticised it, but I think looking back, I'm like,
a little bit of criticism. Oh, who's this old bloke? What we're doing this? Oh, what a waste of time that is. Unquote.
Yeah. Well, that basically, but Steve, I think was that his second start was it his second?
He
start?
started at Norwich.
I mean, I think he's done brilliantly since he came back. And the question, I suppose, is when Jakob's fit, for now, does Begovic keep his place? Because I think he should.
Yeah, I think he should. He's a lot more commanding. And I noticed yesterday that we went long a lot more as well, which is good. I think maybe he decided that playing out from the back wasn't ideal. He's a lot more commanding in goal. He spreads himself bigger. Like, he made so many good saves yesterday. There was a couple that were truly outstanding. And for a 39-year-old to make those sort of saves, I mean, I couldn't do it now, and I'm younger than him. So fair play. But yeah, criticism when he signed because we were signing an experienced goalkeeper. But I get it. Every squad needs to have a goalkeeper that is, 35 plus, that can be a backup, but can teach the younger lads some moves and some dances, as you're probably about to find out.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about the Middlesbrough game, but this one, I still think this is sketchy. Like, I'm not sure. Coley and Bobby Reed, man, there was 2 men marking that player. It was Aylin at the back post. Like, I understand it. Yeah, Begovic probably could have come with it, but I think he trusted his centre back too much, I would say. Not that comment, sorry. Yeah. Apologies. This comment here. I'm not sure that was all on Begovic, that goal, to be honest with you. But anyway, yeah. Kate, obviously some great saves. I don't know if you've seen it yet. He slapped a Middlesbrough player across the head. Did you see this? So
Stoke.
Stoke. Sorry. So from what I understand, because we were on the watch, I didn't see all of it, but I think he stood on Begovic's feet, right? He stood on the keeper's toes, and Begovic slapped him across the head. And like, if it was VAR, he's off. I swear, if it's VAR, he's off. But can also, Kate, talking about whether Jakob should come back in, can Jakob do this?
Whatever you want, it's not we can't do, 'cause we can go up, and that's what we can't do. We can jump up,
Neither can he. Begovic can't either.
Wow. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny with his. I think is it his daughter, Steve? I don't know. He posts them on TikTok.
Yeah, it's his daughter.
Begovic?
Yeah.
It's good.
Stick to keeping.
Yeah. But no, talk to me, Kate. I mean, again, an impressive performance, as you said. And what do you think? Do you think for now he deserves to keep his place?
Yeah, it's always difficult, isn't it, with keepers? Because it's one of those positions where you just want continuity and you don't want to break any rhythm that may have been established. Obviously, when Begovic came on unexpectedly a couple of games ago with Jakob going off injured, I feel like he genuinely forgot about the 6-second rule when he gave away the free kick for holding on to it for too long. Because I don't think he's played a match since that rule's been in place. So I was a bit thinking, oh God, is he going to be literally like a bit of a geriatric in goal, even though he's younger than me? But yeah, yesterday, and I thought the previous game he made a couple of great saves as well. He's just enormous, and he knows how to play to his attributes. He knows his strengths and weaknesses. It was disappointing he couldn't do anything about the goal yesterday. The defence let him down big time with that goal yesterday. It was really poor defending, and it was coming for a couple of minutes from the off as well, from the second half. So, but yeah, the one-on-one in particular, was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think he did a one-on-one last home game as well, I seem to remember, where he's just shot stopping. He's absolutely sensational. And even at times when I thought there was a couple that got lobbed that ended up going over the bar, but somehow he still made the save and covered up to the crossbar, because he's just absolutely enormous. He doesn't have to jump very high to cover all that. So yeah, he kept us in it yesterday for sure, and he seems quite commanding. I think he's prepared to play the long balls. He's prepared to play the quick release balls, which we are desperate for, which Jakob can't do. His distribution seems a bit more mixed, and you don't quite know what he's going to do, which I like, because it shouldn't always be so predictable. So yeah, I think he's slotted in quite well, but you can tell he's a real pro, can't you? He's played at the top for very good reason.
Graham, obviously part of the goalkeepers union. Here is the screenshot, Graham. Have you ever done this on the pitch? But that's when he slapped him across the head. That's mid slap or just pre slap. You ever done that on the pitch, mate? I bet you have.
I use, for some strange reason, I use my mouth quite a bit back in the day. But
I don't believe you.
I used just to convince them that I was an absolutely barking and capable of doing anything, that 1,000-yard stare. But but also, we were saying about Begovic should have been in trouble. The player that stamped on his foot should have been in trouble as well.
That guy. Did that guy get booked? Did that guy get booked? There was a guy that got booked right at the end for an altercation with Begovic. It wasn't to do with that, because that was injury time.
Yeah. But I do like the fact that he switches it up. He's got a good kick on him, and also the influence he has on others. I noticed that again in the second half, Vestergaard went for Rosed or tried to hit top with a football, to get the ball clear. None of this, tippy tappy stuff, as Imran would say. But I think there's somebody that needs a lot of praise, and that's Neil. I mean, Neil's thing on Wednesday night or Tuesday night, whenever his analysis is that, you don't need centre forwards because the best teams are attacking with wingers. Well, look where both our goals came from.
Yeah, totally. No, I did. I think that was what you said, Kate, was about how he he's not afraid to go long, and I think Steve. It's good to have that variety, I suppose. Like me and you were talking last week about, or the week before, about where Jakob sometimes I think is just too scared to hit it long. Now I think that's probably, again, I think, who is it who says they're brainwashed? Is it Imran and Kate? I think you both say it, right? You say that players are brainwashed into playing, short balls and stuff like that. Maybe that's the case with Jakob having played under
programs for sure.
Yeah, having played under Enzo, but. Yeah, it's good to have that variety, and he's not bad at it either, Steve. As we know, he did score a goal, Begovic, from going long. So,
yeah, I mean, it might be that Jakob just isn't good enough at pumping the ball long, so we do it short because he can't do it. Whereas, Begovic can smack a ball. And to be fair, it made sense because there was a couple of times yesterday where we passed it out to Winks and he had 3 players on his back, and we almost gave the ball away. So, to switch it up and to the only thing I get a bit annoyed about, I don't know if you guys are the same. When we choose to kick the ball to the right, why do we not have a single player just on the left, just keeping somebody dragged out from there? Because there's so much space. You could have Abdul or Mavididi on that side, just breaking through with pace. So that's a bit frustrating, because I think that's a different avenue that we could get behind. But yeah, it's good that we've got the long ball in the locker, especially because he's quite accurate with it. He found Daka as much as the ball he kept falling over whenever the ball came near him, but we still found him, which is a positive.
Yeah. Kate, right, let's talk about this. Let's turn the chat a little bit here. So, what did you think to the manager's lineup? Because the starting 11, because again, I'm still seeing the same people slate, and I'm including Steve in that. No offense, but Anil says it as well. I'm still seeing the same people kind of get a little bit annoyed with the starting 11. And to be quite frank, other than maybe, JJ, right, not playing in the 10, I don't really get it. Because I see people talking about Skip. I see people talking about Thomas, right? And yes, none of us really like them players. But who else is there? Because I'll use Steve here as an example, Kate, right? So I know this is kind of devil's advocate, because I know Steve would just rather JJ in the 6. But Steve hates Samare, okay? Steve hates Samare. But when Skip plays, Steve will say, Skip? What? Right? So it's like, who do you want, Skip or Smart? I mean, who do you take there? Like, I think it's 50-50 for who's shitter. So for me, I will come back to you, Steve, so you can defend yourself. But Kate, the starting 11, I feel like it gets so much stick for. I don't really understand why, because the players who are available for selection, they're just not very good. None of them are really very good.
I think the only problem I had was moving JJ into the 10. I don't understand it. It doesn't bear enough fruit. I think he's actually growing into the role because he's a good player and he seems to be getting used to it. But he's so much more effective with Winks, and that's the only true success story of Leicester's season, is how well that partnership has developed, and how, I keep saying it, I think it's criminal to break it up. So I understand that. I think I said in the week to you, Locks, that from when I listened to the When You're Smiling stuff, I think Owen said that Bobby only landed from Jamaica on the Friday. So that's an international problem, isn't it? It's really frustrating. So he may not have been able to put a full 90 minutes in. Not that he is fatigued in that way, but in terms of elite sport, you're probably going to be 10% off your best, which can be a lot in this game. So I get perhaps why Bobby didn't come on and start, but I would rather just play Mavididi in the 10 and play Mongo, or switch them over. I just don't think JJ should be in that 10 at all, because it's so ineffective. And Pipes was saying last night when I was listening to the analysis that JJ is so much better coming onto the ball, like KDH used to do, like Drinkwater used to do, rather than receiving it. He just becomes ineffective. I mean, the run that he went on yesterday where Daka nearly got his second was because he was coming onto the ball from deep, and he's just waiting. So that's the frustrating part for me. Skip, I actually thought had an okay game. Like, I actually thought most of his passes were forward, which I didn't expect. And the same with Thomas. Thomas was slightly better in that regard yesterday, like forward passing. He turned for he gave Mavididi a chance, didn't he? He just turned and passed it down the line to Mavididi rather than the easy pass back to the centre back. So I understand what Steve's saying, because for me, the JJ and Winks partnership is what gives us the best chance to make things tick. And I don't know why Marty keeps messing with it. That's quite a frustrating stubbornness about his approach. But everything else, I don't see where's better. Ricky P was absolutely horrendous yesterday. He must have made 4 hospital passes that all failed in about 4 minutes in the first half yesterday. He was absolutely dreadful. But Luke Thomas, I don't think there's anybody better. You could say that obviously Silko came on or whatever, but I just don't think, sadly, there's nobody better. And we've got 10 games to go till January. And it's tough, but I just think for me that central partnership, which can really alleviate some pressure, Marty just doesn't want to play it. He wants the perfect person in the 10, but we don't have that all the time because Ramsey's out.
Yeah. I mean, what about you, Graham? What did you think to the 11, mate? Because again, you know more than anyone about some of the negativity. Because I know you were having a little pop or two at some people, but
more.
But yeah, what did you think to it? Because I think for me, like, JJ in the 10 is the one that I struggle with, But it's like maybe he's got the legs, JJ. So maybe the thought process there is just the high press, that the players higher up the pitch being able to press, and I think that is effective at times. We don't always see it, but when you've got Daka and Mavididi and Fatau and JJ kind of as a pressing unit, I think that works really well, which is maybe why Marty likes him higher up the pitch.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, you come back from an international break, assess what you've got, and you play the fittest team that's going to be out there. I think and let's not take it away from Skip, that pass for Daka's goal, that was, there's a few Leicester heroes in the past, you'd have gone, oh, that was one of their balls, or a Madison ball, or something like that. I think he plays him to do the running for Skip to do the running for Winks, I think, and then he can't not play James, so he'll play James out of position. But it's Skip's work rate and understanding with is helping Winks. So we'll see. I mean, it's one of those things. He had to take tiredness as well, but he had to take half the midfield off because it had all been booked. And as Kate said, there was a red card coming. So I think we won, so he got it right.
Yeah, well, that's one way of looking at it. We won. He picked to win it. I said that yesterday after the thing. I was like, because I think the guys I didn't do the match ratings, but I think the guys were giving Marty like 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. And I'm like, he picked a winning side. The guy picked a winning side, and then he brought substitutes on to see out the game and win the game. So I think that's ridiculous to be giving him a 3 or a 4 in a match rating. But go on, Steve, defend yourself, mate. I called you out a little bit, saying basically what the fuck are you moaning at? So go on, mate, defend yourself.
So, where did I moan at all, Locks? Because the only thing I complained about on Twitter was JJ not being in the 10, and in the WhatsApp group for the community, all I said was I'm piss soaking wet through, and that's before I saw the awful lineup. So I think you'll find I didn't moan at all. I understand why we're putting Oliver Skip.
The awful lineup.
Hang on.
He's doing some heavy lifting.
Hang on. Let me clarify. I understand why we play Oliver Skip, because, yes, he does do the running around for Harry Winks. I completely agree, Graham. And out of him and Samare, I would pick Skip all day long. Samare is god-awful and shouldn't play for Leicester City again, right? I understand why we play Oliver Skip, because we spent £25 million on him, and there needs to be some sort of sellable asset, potentially, so you can't just let him rot in the reserves. So I get it. I also understand that after an international break, you're going to have players that are tired, so you need to pick the best lineup possible, as I believe Kate said, or Graham said, whoever said that, sorry. So I get why Bobby didn't start in the camp, because I think he would have done, and we would have dropped JJ back. Overall, I think the reason why I said it was an awful lineup is because I was getting soaking wet walking to that ground, and somebody just sprayed me with water from the side of the road. So I was a bit annoyed about that. Overall, I think
what
was the best lineup
what
possible.
was awful about it? I mean, obviously, generally it's okay, and certain positions are filled. They're shoo-ins, aren't they? But who were the players that you were like, oh no, that's a wrong move?
Well, the big one was Wout Fass. I understand why he started, but overall, I just don't think he cares, and he makes it like the goal we conceded was Wout Fass's fault, in my opinion. He was at fault for the one-on-one that we had as well for them. So overall, Wout Fass is somebody that I just don't care about. I think overall it was a balanced lineup. So yes, I understand Locke just saying that I complained about the starting 11. But I could have been a lot worse. I actually think it was the best 11 we could have put out at the time without Nelson coming back in when he was fit or whatever.
Nelson and Coley are injured, right? So we didn't really have an option.
That's what,
I know.
So after that, Steve. So you did moan then?
No, hang on. Well. I moaned about one player being out of position. I'm not having this. I am somebody that will, if I have an opinion, I'll be very clear of it. But you can't come for a person that didn't moan about it all that much.
I'm pulling your one of your legs. I don't know.
I'll get you.
Of the three.
I'll get you when I see you next.
I don't know which of the 3 legs I'm pulling, but I'm pulling one of them, Steve.
I'm more worried about Tuesday night than yesterday, because we can't have Ricardo won't play Tuesday because he can't play 2 games in 4 days. Thomas is out is suspended, so he won't play. So that's Chowdhury and maybe Aluko coming in on Tuesday. So there's going to be a lot of changes.
I can't believe we just won a game and you're worried about the next game. I think also one of the points I pick up from you is...
Isn't that football? Isn't that something we all do? We're all worried about the next game. I'm always worried about the next game.
Every game, well, when I go, I think we're always going to win the next game. I don't look for things that are going to make us look like we're going to lose.
What about last season?
It's Southampton. It's Southampton. Of course we're going to win. We always beat Southampton.
Well, they won 5-1 yesterday, didn't they? Or 1-5 or whatever it was. But the other point is, you can't, and I'm really up to here, and this is not you, Steve. It's the bloke sitting next to you on this as well. I am up to my fucking neck with everybody going on about 20 million Skip. Do you think he goes on the pitch and goes, oh, I cost 20 million, I better play better? Absolute bollocks. Yeah, it's fans. It's like we pay X number of million for a player. It's never the player's fault of what he gets, unless he's getting a percentage. Then good luck to him. It's the fans that hold that in the head. I don't believe for 1 minute anybody in the team goes up to him. Well, you cost 20 million quid. You're shit.
Well, I always use like the Maguire example, right? The shit that Maguire got for the first few years at United. It's like if he was a £30 million signing, he wouldn't have got all of that shit, right? But because he cost them 80 million, that's why. And I agree with you on that front, Graham. It's not Skip didn't sign himself, right? They scouted him or whatever, and they signed him, and that's on the club.
Who signed him?
Hey,
who spent that money on him? I don't know who it was.
Don't get Graham started.
Signed Begovic.
Begovic, yeah. But no, I hear you. But But Graham, the thing is, mate. I'll hand this to Kate. Like, it's not Kate. I understand where Graham's coming from, Kate, but you can't just not. I don't know. Am I being harsh? You can't just not mention it. Like £20 million. I found out yesterday. It could be
every day, every comment. It goes before
well,
you
it's
say
not.
the word
It's
skip.
not. It's not
Everybody
every
says
comment.
£20 million skip. Don't said skip midfielder.
Nah, they do. They do. I know. Like I don't hear the 20 million fee much anymore. But I'm saying that, like, for me, Kate, it's like, I don't know if it's true. There was a rumor yesterday that apparently it could be bullshit. So apologies if it is. But somebody said Thomas is on 60k. I'm like, what? How do you give a 12-year-old scaffolder a fucking 60 grand a week contract? I don't get it. That's madness.
But I don't get hung up on it. Erling Haaland isn't worth 600 grand a week to me because he doesn't generate that in commercial revenue every week for Manchester City. He doesn't. These players aren't worth it. Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City Chiefs, he's got a 500 million 10-year contract. This is what elite sport is. Elite sport is getting paid obscene amount of money, and that's just the way it goes. And I never really bother about what players are on particularly. I think it's the going rate. It's the market that we're in. Luke's not going to sign, or people aren't going to sign if you offer them 10 or 5. You know, those days are gone, sadly, and that's the market we're in. And I'm with Graham. I get a bit sick of the price tags or wage tags being bandied around, because that is the salaries of footballers, and the championship wages are going up as well. You know, like no player to me is worth whatever it is. Vardy didn't earn his 100 grand a week last year. Like, that's just football, you know. It's just football. That's the place they're in. They've worked the socks off to get there, and I just don't want to talk about the money because it's really nothing to do with it. I think all these players make an effort. Like for Luke Thomas's sake, he tries. He's a Leicester lad. He wants to do well. I think sometimes he can be really poor. Like moments yesterday, he was really poor, but what we're going to do. That's the market we're in, sadly. If we're in League 2 or National League and we're paying 60 grand a week, you could probably have more of a say about it. But in the Championship...
Yeah. And there were Premier League players, weren't they? So it makes sense while they're on the wages.
You're going to get that. I just get a bit sick of talking about the wages, because the wage of anyone in professional football at those two tiers is absolutely ridiculous anyway. Because, like, even the new rules about 85% of turnover. What company spends 85% of turnover on wages and succeeds and doesn't go under? Like, the whole model's screwed. But that's a completely separate conversation. But yeah, I do get frustrated with the prices being bandied around, and I think Skip is massively overvalued. The price we paid, it looks like we overpaid by quite a lot, but it's gone. It's in the past. It's in the past, and that's why I'm with Steve, you know, against Graham here. Like, when you've won a game, especially like Leicester, where they come really few at the minute, you do look to the next game immediately. Like, yesterday was great. It was brilliant walking back from the game thinking we've won, and you reflect on the performance. But I'm automatically thinking about Southampton. So is Marty, because he spoke about potential injury concerns now, and I forgot Thomas was out. So you are looking ahead thinking that's only in 2 days, not a lot of time for recovery, a tough place to go to. And yeah, you get a bit worried again. You get the nerves again. So you are always looking ahead, because what's gone is gone now, and you just scratch it and move on.
Still not level, Locks. It's still not
level. Say again.
It's still not level.
I know it is. It just doesn't. It genuinely is. It's just the angle. It's the angle.
It's called perspective.
Yeah, we need a spirit level on there, mate.
It's level. It's 100% level. Anyway,
you just moved it. You've just moved it, so it wasn't level. Now you just moved it again.
Look at the line of the shadow. It's level. It's level. I promise. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, let's not hyperfixate on wages, because we'll leave that to the other channel. They like to do that. But yeah, someone's coming for Graham. I won't bring that one up. That's your mate Rodkin, Graham. We'll talk about it another day. We'll talk about Rodkin another day. All right then. Well, Steve, what do you make to this comment here? So Tony says, a win is a win, but the performance was bang average. 2 shots on target, not great. We can't play for 90 minutes under Marty. Now, 3 points aside, we all can admit here that there are no 90-minute performances under Marty. I think a valid response to that would be, well, this is, professional football. It's a hard division, and the other team. I think Graham always says, we were playing another team, right? We were playing another team. They were on the pitch as well. So, but does it concern you that because I always say you just don't know you don't know what's our good half and what's our bad half. Like, you go in at half time, you're like, was that a good half or a bad half? I don't know. I'm slightly worried about that. And yesterday, obviously, we came out and the start of the second half was really poor again. Obviously, we grew back into it. But yeah, are you concerned about that at all?
Yeah, I would say so, because look, they could have been before Graham comes back and say, well, they weren't. So they could have been 2-0 up before we scored. There was a couple of chances where they could have, and I think Begovic made a save, and then we cleared one not far off the line.
And that guy
Overall,
just went wide, didn't he? He slid in and it went wide.
yes,
That one.
yeah. So we could have been on the back foot instantly. Whereas, we went down the other end and scored, and we scored again, which is good. That's what you need to see. But I agree that the lack of shots and the lack of attacking chances we're having in a game is not ideal. You could say that's probably down to the fact that we haven't got a proper striker with confidence. Hopefully that now changes. Now we've got, Daka scoring a goal and Mavididi scoring a goal as well. But overall, yeah, it wasn't a great game of football. We weren't good, and Stoke looked really good for pretty much all of it. I'm worried because you can't keep playing poorly and picking up results, as we found out. And maybe I keep saying it's the transition season. We'll be in the Championship next season. The club don't want to be in the Championship next season. They want to be in the Premier League. That's simply how it is. So yeah, I am worried because we're not great and we're not playing great and the players aren't clicking. But there were moments in that first and second half where we were passing the ball really well and it looked really good, only for it to go to nothing. So yeah, we need to have more chances in front of goal. That's for sure.
Kate, I know this is just football, but because it does worry me a little bit how we are always one moment away from a loss. I feel, you know what I mean, or a couple moments away. The games are always so tight, and it feels like, and that is football, right? That is momentum. I think when you look back to the. Was it the Blackburn game? It was the Blackburn game, right, where the goal was disallowed because Mavididi got in the way, and then Mavididi missed the chance. And it's like, well, if they went in, then we're probably winning 3-0, right? But we lost 2-0. But under Marty, it is so tight, and it feels like any game can go either way. Which, I know it's not as easy as saying, well, I just want a 90-minute dominating performance, but that is something we've not had at all this season.
Yeah, there's been no element where you felt comfortable watching Leicester this year. It's been an uncomfortable watch. But I will say with yesterday, the 2 goals were because we capitalised on their mistakes. 2 loose passes and we made them pay. And that's what you want to see. We don't get many chances. So to be clinical in those moments is really important. And Stoke will be kicking themselves. They made 2 howlers, one from inside their own half, from a goal, but actually messing about at the back. This beautiful modern football messing about at the back cost them a goal, and they could have just hoofed it, and it wouldn't have been a goal if they'd have just hoofed it out of their own half. So it's nice to see us capitalise on someone else's mistakes rather than the other way around. But yeah, I sent a link to the chat the other day. A BBC article about the drop in trend of goals and big chances in games, because somehow that's getting sucked out of football, and I don't understand it. The basics of football is getting sucked out of it, where you're trying to go for goal, attack consistently, and score more goals than the other team. And it just seems to be so careful and cautious all of the time. And no one wants to take a risk. We take way more risks defensively than we do going forwards. We played that most dangerous pass in football I've spoken about before to Harry Winks, I think 3 times yesterday from Begovic when he had a couple of men on him. We wouldn't ever do that in our own box to try and score. So it's really frustrating. And yeah, you do feel like it's on a tightrope all the time. You're only one moment away from being a goal down or conceding a goal. And when Wout Fass is on the pitch, you feel that increases a bit. We don't have any comfortable nature about our play at all. And it's quite scary to watch at times. And in the last 10 minutes, I don't know about you, Steve, but in the last 10 minutes, my stress levels certainly go up, particularly if we're winning, because I just think, oh my God, we're gonna mess this up. I generally thought they'd get the equaliser yesterday because it was coming, and Marty was slow on the uptake with some changes again yesterday, I felt. But yeah, that's modern football. You kids love it apparently, but I really don't. But that is modern football.
Graham, now at 10 a.m. yesterday morning, Imran sent us a voice note in our group chat, and he said, Leicester are winning 2-1 today, and Mavididi and Daka are scoring the goals. And I nearly choked on my cereal, to be honest. I was like, bloody hell, what is this guy smoking? He's on some good stuff here. But Graham, Patson Daka and Mavididi scored the two unlikely goal scorers yesterday. Let's start with Daka. What a finish from the guy. I mean, I know you like to defend the players that get a lot of stick, and Daka's one of them. I remember you nearly getting into a little bit of a scrap with Luca a few weeks ago when I was on holiday because he was going in on Daka. But it was a good performance from him, wasn't it? And he got a good goal.
Yeah, I mean, as a striker, you want to be able to go at players. Same with Mavididi on the other side. And the great thing is, and this is tongue in cheek, but not tongue in cheek, is he didn't have time to think about it. Muscle memory kicked in. He leapt over the player. He kicked the ball up. I'm sure he didn't even, think what he was doing. So that's great. And maybe that is the change that he needs. And maybe it affects the rest of the team as well. Because this is like a thing, the sword of Damocles hanging over. If he hadn't scored in this week or maybe a couple of weeks, it'd have been a calendar year since he scored a goal. I think that the football has changed. With Kate, is that Stoke. We've got to remember that when we played Stoke was second in the league. Yeah, and we are falling apart at the bottom with a complete. We played a team full of confidence today. I mean, I know you're saying that Faz, the goal, for the first got their goal, but the whole back line. I mean, it was almost a set piece. They'd set that up. That was a whatever you call it, training ground exercise to score the goal. And yeah, I want to know where Mavididi or the other guy was that should be marking the furthest right person. And a great header down on the goal. So I love to think that Mavididi and Daka are learning. Like Mavididi, the manager says, "Go, don't turn around, don't come back, go. If you lose the ball, but at least try and shoot." So yeah, great game football. I've had 55 years, Kate, of thinking we're never going to win a game, and then we're 2-0 up with 15 seconds to go, and I'm always thinking we're going to lose. But that's football, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Steve, 2 goals yesterday shows what can happen if you just push on. Like in other games, Mavididi wouldn't have made that run. In other games, Skip doesn't make that pass. He plays it back to the centre back because it's safe to do so. Like we actually saw two counter-attacking goals yesterday because we dared. And look what happens when you dare. So maybe Marty's been asking for this for ages. And the players, I think there's a massive habitual problem of Enzo ball within this setup, and they're not good enough. And it's to a new manager to come in to try and beat that out of them a little bit, where, we're not playing rugby. We're not playing where you have to pass backwards to move forwards. We're not playing a game where possession wins. Possession wins fuck all. It's all about goals. And I don't care if we have 20% or 80%, we need to just take those moments. And Skip's pass yesterday was flipping brilliant. And he wouldn't have done that 9 times out of 10 on another day.
We also need teams to come at us. We also need teams to come at us. When we play teams that put 2 banks of 4 and sit in their own half, at least Stoke wanted to win the game, or at least thought they could win the game, and that creates opportunities. How many times have we had the opportunity to break into an opponent's half and found that there's nobody there, not a bank of 4 players in front of them?
It's funny you say about possession wins fuck all, because I have to show this. I saw it yesterday on Twitter, man. This is crazy, by the way. Barnsley played Luton yesterday, right? Look at this. Luton had 69% possession and they lost 5-0. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. But no, you're right. I mean, Steve, Daka, look, we joke around, and look, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, 1 goal in just under a year is just ridiculous. But he took his chance well, and I think Graham's probably right with he didn't really have too much time to think. He just kind of took it instinctively and little dink over the keeper, took it really well, and the build up as well. Skip, the ball from Skip was really good as well.
Yeah, 2 of the players that they get hammered a lot week in, week out is Skip and Daka, and yeah, they both combined well yesterday to score a decent goal. That was a good finish. It was Vardy-esque, sort of peeling off the defender and sticking it into the corner. I'll be honest with you, the ball went in, and then I pretty much fell over the barrier in front of me with a guy next to me. So I whacked my knee when Mavididi scored as well. It was a good experience because we were all just like, what the fuck just happened? But what I will say, like, fair play, like, he scored a goal, great. But there were moments, and I heard you say it, Locks, yesterday, the moment where he sort of starfished in the air and then he went down holding his face when actually he just got pushed off the ball really easily. The amount of times he got the ball and then just fell over, like, that's frustrating. He needs to be a bit stronger with the ball. I think he's been looking at IU too much and being like, oh, I'll get a free kick here. Never gets a free kick. But I like to think that that's enough to push him forward with confidence, and he'll go on a bit of a run now and score some more because, you know, Southampton they'll come out on Tuesday, which is what we like. We prefer a team to come on to us, as Graham was saying. So that'll be decent. See how that sort of plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, like, I feel like if I use an A in GCSE drama with selling fouls, Daka's an F. You know, Daka's just not very good at it. When you see IU go down,
in the gym. He needs to do
when
the
you
body in the gym. It's really frustrating.
when you see IU go down, you're like, no, that actually does look like a foul. But when Daka goes down, you're like, oh well, he's just fallen over there. The amount
of times where he'd fall over and you'd be like, and they're getting angry at the ref when the guy next to me was like, that's not the ref's fault. Have you seen how he fell over again? I'm like, don't. Mark, don't, please don't.
But it's like, I mean, Daka had a scrap on his hands yesterday. You know, like, they were all over him. They were giving him those Stoke players. And you know, there was that guy. Is it Wilmot? I mean, what a fucking sorry, it's early, but a pussy. Honestly, he was giving Daka shit all game, right? All game, and then I think there was a moment where he pushed Daka, but as Daka's going down, his arm, you know, he's got his arms out and it hits Wilmot in the head, and Wilmot goes down crying like a big baby, in the words of Roy Keane. It's just, honestly, but I mean, we spoke about it, right? They were aggressive, and they were just dirty, in my opinion. Stoke. I mean, that challenge on Abdul at the end, towards the end of the game.
Yep.
Abdul was on the touchline, and they absolutely he just goes in on him, and I'm like, what was? And then Fatawu gave him some shit back. But this is what I'm saying. This is what we want to see, right? You know, we don't want to be bullied, and we've been bullied way too often over the last few years. And it felt like yesterday we were just giving them a bit back. Even Thomas, you know, I mean, it was Thomas versus Mabama. I mean, outside of the pitch, but Mabama would bloody kill him. But, you know, Thomas was giving him a little bit back as well. And that's what you want to see, man, because too often you see Leicester go out there and they are the pussios, right? They just go on.
What we do miss is that tackle on Abdul yesterday. We missed somebody who was a number 9 who would have then gone flying in the next time that player got the ball. You know, that's what we need. Somebody that if he sees, like, I thought Hamza coming on would have done the same. You know, go out there and put his foot in a bit, but he didn't. But yeah, I feel like you need that sort of level of consistency in the squad where you're going to stand up for each other no matter what happens. So when that tackle happened, somebody lay on one on him again. Get the crowd up, because that would have, like, if he'd have got tackled afterwards, the crowd would have gone mental and it would have pushed the lads on a bit more. But we still got the win, so I'm happy. But yeah, I just want to see a bit more dark arts, as you say, Locks. That'd be nice.
Yeah, and then Mavididi, Kate. Let's talk about Mavididi. Let's all speak about him. You know, it started this season. I mean, look, this season for Mavididi, it's been really, really poor. That poor that I made a bet with Ragsy that IU will outscore him, and there is a ghost chili pepper on the line for that, so that's great. But yesterday, Kate, taking the goal out of it as well, I thought he was excellent. You know, I think other than Begovic, he would have been man of the match for me. The energy was there, the pressing was there, the confidence. I thought he was exceptional.
Yeah, he's a orthodox winger, isn't he? He's extremely emotional, so you have to manage those emotions. So when his chips are down, he really feels it, and we've seen that before with his reactions when he missed the Coventry chance and things like that. Like, he really does feel it, and he struggles to pick himself back up and dust himself off and go again. But yesterday, getting his goal, everyone was over the moon for it, and you really saw the uptick in his press and his tenacity going forwards yesterday. Like, he was willing to run. You know, if he hadn't have scored that goal, I'm not sure he'd have played that pass to put JJ through for the Daka's potential second goal. Like, his tail was up, he was feeling more confident, and that's what can happen. I will say though, Mavididi's tracking back is absolutely horrendous, and he's almost invisible at that point. Like, when we were under the cosh a bit, he was a bit too casual at times, and that I do find that frustrating. And I don't want him to be a sensational Hamza or anything like this, because he needs to always be on the foot of potentially with a counter attack being turned back round. But he is poor tracking back, and Monga is as well. So that can leave us just a bit exposed. So I'd just like to see him do the efforts on that side of it as well, just to be there, just not to get run past really easily on the opposition. But yeah, he was brilliant yesterday, absolutely brilliant. I'm really pleased for him and Daka. Like, I'm hoping that those two guys in particular have had a really tough time of it, some of their own doing, some just how it goes. So it'd be nice to see if he can build on that. And personally, if he's going to play like that, Locks, you're going to be eating that chili, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. If that continues, obviously, Monga's. I mean, Luke put a comment up earlier about what are your thoughts on Monga being frozen out. I don't think he's been frozen out as such, but I think obviously his performances were lacking, and no one expects too much because he's 16 years old and he's kind of still being brought through really. But Graham, Mavididi, for all the people out there that took the mick out of him a little bit this season, which I think we just made light of the situation, calling him 007 and 008 and 009 and 0010. But he was brilliant.
Yes, I mean, I'm really pleased for him. Football, that the last 10% of any sport is confidence, and without confidence, you turn around and go backwards. It's a great. I'm going to refer to Anil again. Do you mind if I refer to Anil?
Yeah, I'm sure I love it.
It's again what he came up with, that we have the potential to be one of the best teams in this division because we have two really good wingers. And if you have Monga and whatever, and Donkey Cobra Reed or whatever, we have, everybody keeps going on about needing a centre forward, but actually, as he said, in the thing, the teams that are doing well are not the ones that have an out and out centre forward that you go, I'll drop the ball on his head. You have wingers that can get round the last man, and either one of them can score or make something happen. And today, yesterday we saw some of that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why in theory we play skip next to Winks with James for work rate. Monga is young; he will be in and out all season. Yeah, I think that's probably the case. Steve, I mean, you said you whacked your knee when Mavididi scored because you got a little overexcited, but I mean, it was good to see him back on the score sheet. And as people who are watching this video can see the thumbnail, I mean, what a photo this was! It looked like it meant a lot to him.
Yeah, the way he ran off and jumped in the air, like I don't think there's anybody in that team that I wanted to see score more, because he truly does care. You saw him after the Birmingham what game was it where he was on the bench and he was almost in tears.
That's Coventry, wasn't it?
Coventry, that's the one. Yeah, like he truly does care. It's just been unfortunate that he's just been a bit crap. But yeah, it's good that he scored, and I really hope that means that he pushes on this season, because let's be honest, we need a winger that's in form, because Abdul is completely out of form at the moment. So if we've got balance on the other side with Mavididi, it takes a bit more pressure off Abdul. But yeah, I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, totally. Okay, man of the match though. Are we all giving it Begovic or Mavididi? Because I think it's one of the two. Is it Begovic?
Begovic for me.
Yeah.
Graham?
Begovic, the only thing the only thing he didn't do, Mavididi didn't do right, is he didn't track back for their set piece goal. But it has to be a Begovic. He's in the Union, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the Union. That's it. Superb goal from Mavididi on his left peg as well. No classic cut in which he threw, which threw the defenders.
I didn't know he had a left peg like that. Did you?
No, not at all.
Which makes you wonder why he doesn't take on his fullback more often.
Yeah, maybe this
why
is
cut
it.
inside?
Maybe he's opened the gates now.
Yeah. Hopefully so.
There was a moment under Martin O'Neill with the winger whose name escapes me, and he could only, brilliant winger for us, but he could only ever, put a left-footed cross in. I can't remember the Guppy, that's it. And I can remember Martin O'Neill telling him off about it and going to do something. And then I think the next game he cut inside and rifled a goal with his right foot. So maybe somebody's giving him some lessons.
And
Yeah.
Well, he was in. There was a lot made of him in the international break as well, with all this stuff with is it Congo? Did you read? Did any of you read this? He apparently turned down Congo like early. I don't know when he turned them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's backtracked now apparently, and he's going to
because they're on the brink of the World Cup. That's why.
Yeah,
it's like Harvey Barnes potentially going to Scotland. It's like, I'm never going to make it for England, so let's join the team that are going to the World Cup because he wants to go.
Yeah,
there.
what
That's
does
all
that say, man? Why isn't he going to make it for England? He was outstanding yesterday.
But is he? Yeah, because is he allowed to change now? He's played though, hasn't he? He's played. I don't know. I don't know what the rules
there's
are.
a new rule in place. So there was a rule years ago where if you play one international cap, you can't then change. But that has changed now in the sense of, I think it's if you've played a friendly or two or just one international appearance, you can then change to whoever's.
Okay.
Well, not whoever, Scotland. So yeah, he got asked about it last week and he said, I've not really thought about it, but I know it's not taken off the table. And you're like, you're definitely going to play for Scotland at the World Cup.
They asked him last night. Mika and Jamie Redknapp asked him last night, and Jamie was like, I think you should change your name to Harvey McBarnes.
It is a bit of a shame though for all the Scottish lads that got there, just have an English bloke come in and take a position. But he's better than quite a lot of their wingers, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's like Wales, man. Like you get all these. If you interviewed half the squad, none of them sound fucking Scottish or Welsh. Well, some of them do, but there's many that don't. Right? It's like when you watch. I was watching Wales the other night, which I don't tend to do, but obviously they absolutely thrashed. I'm a Glory supporter, right? So with international, they absolutely thrashed the team. So I watched it, and I think there's one or two that were interviewed, and obviously that they've got a Welsh accent, but most of them, you can't tell at all. It's like Andy King, right? Andy King grew up in. I want to say Andy King was
Bristol.
Where was it? Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so he's near the border, I suppose.
Like Ryan Giggs, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, Bale was my goat. Bale, he was Welsh. He was proper Welsh. So, although they're all more Welsh than me, so I'm told by a lot of people. I think Kate even told me on Thursday I was a fake Welshie, so that was kind. But
I'll tell you again, you're a fake Welshie.
Although 100%.
Although Locke sat with a fellow Welsh guy on Thursday night, and you became more Welsh, didn't you, when you were talking to that Elvin? Yeah,
big shout out to Elvin.
Is that so he could understand you a bit better? Because when you see people talk to like foreign people and the accent change, Locks is like, oh, he's never going to understand me. Let's change my accent slightly.
Well, no, it's like what's the word? Like unconsciously, like it just my accent changes. And I spoke a little bit of Welsh with him, but yeah. Anyway, if Gordon can get in the,
you really did. Before you go, you really did look like in the photographs. You were like fanboy. You'd found your tribe, Locks. None of them had seen daylight for months, and they all get let out. That's probably why they had to have it in the evening as well, because the bright lights might have messed with their heads.
Yeah, 100%. Right, okay, we're gonna leave it there now. Just very quickly, I wanted to say, I say this every week, but I'm gonna say it again here. So for anybody that hasn't seen it before, obviously Black Friday is around the corner, Christmas is around the corner, and if you do like these Jamie Vardy prints from the beautiful frame, well, let me tell you something, right? So we obviously have a 12% off discount code, so you can do that now. The link's in the description. But next weekend, is it Black Friday next weekend? I think it's next weekend. Next weekend, there are some ridiculous discounts coming. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, from the 28th to the 1st of December, you will be able to get 25% off. So use the link in the description. You'll get 25% off one of those prints, and you can get them for your dad or your mum or your sister or your brother or your cousin or your uncle, auntie,
your son,
daughter.
You missed son out. Hope he's not listening, because I think I've got a good idea.
But yeah, you can order them. So use the link in the description, BTG12 and all that good stuff. Okay. Thank you to Steve. Thank you to Kate. Thank you to Graham, as always. Graham, can we just get one little... you not got your hat with you, mate? Can we get one little thing before we finish? Come on. You're slacking here, mate. You're slacking.
Yeah, I know. Here we go. This is for Mavididi and Daka.
There we go. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, everybody. And I'm just thinking, have you got anything coming up, Steve? Any shows, all right? You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm on with Jack at 6 o'clock for the prediction show. And then, on with Chris tomorrow at 7 to discuss the game and review the players.
There you go. There you go. So there's some viewing for you all. So, okay, cheers all. Enjoy your Sundays. Take care. See you very soon. Bye-bye. No more 200 grand, but our new sponsors, The Beautiful Frame, have smashed it with this Jamie Vardy piece. It's unreal. They're a local Leicester business as well, which makes it even better. And not just City, they do prints for other clubs as well. So it's perfect if you are stuck for a birthday or Christmas present for one of your friends or family. Now, the best bit, they have sorted BTG viewers out with a discount. Just use BTG12 at checkout for money off. BTG12. Grab yours now at thebeautifulframe.com. The link is down below.